Hey guys, it's Daniel, licensed therapist. Being a therapist is an interesting job, and a lot of people find it interesting. And when I tell people I'm a therapist, I get a lot of the same questions. So I thought I'd go over some of these questions today. Question number one: are you analyzing me? And I always answer this question the same: no, no, I'm not analyzing you.
What? No.
But in reality, heck yeah, I'm analyzing you. I'm analyzing everything all the time. Let me ask you, let's say you're Superman and you're playing a game of tackle football and you guys are down, and in order to win the game, you have to score a touchdown and a guy's coming at you to tackle you. You're telling me you're not going to use a little bit of super strength and super speed? And so, yes, I am analyzing people, but it's for good reason. I mean, let me ask you, don't you feel like people regret hiring this guy or hiring this guy? And let's just say that this guy comes up to you and says he's got a job for you. Wouldn't you want to know if he's psychologically stable or not? And for sure, you do not want to be dating this person.
Here's a photograph of the bed, our bed. And on my side of the bed was human fecal matter.
So I'm not out there doing these thorough psychoanalytic assessments of people and going into people's childhood and asking them their narratives and their beliefs about themselves or anything like that. But people with red flags tend to show those red flags. And you know what, guys? Let's just be safe out there. So yes, I do analyze people, not in depth, but I do use that information to my benefit. Number two: do you ever get drained meeting with people? The short answer is not really. I don't really get drained. I think the most I've ever done was 7 straight hours of seeing clients. So that's 7 hours of administering therapy. And by the end of 7 hours, I found myself surprisingly feeling great. And I think there's a misconception out there that all we do as therapists is just sit there and people are crying and it's just really difficult and we're just trying to contain and absorb all these feelings. But therapists actually have a little more active role. And I like to look at myself as a detective. I love mysteries. My wife tells me I'm actually pretty nosy. I actually call myself curious more than nosy, but I love a good mystery. And therapy is like solving a mystery. You get a client and then you get pieces to understanding this client, and you're putting those pieces together to put together a cohesive understanding of what's going on. And I find that very, very satisfying and gratifying. So no, I don't really get drained after therapy. Number three: do you ever worry about your client outside of therapy? And let me tell you about the island. The island is this amazing, beautiful place, clean white beaches, beautiful blue waters, and it's just perfect there. Everyone there is happy, and all of my clients are on the island. It's actually something they told us in grad school. All your clients are on this beautiful island and don't worry about them. And I don't know if you guys feel like that's a little cold, like we don't have to worry about our clients, but it's actually something that we use for self-help and to protect ourselves. Because if we want to be the best therapist possible, we need to be there present with our clients. And in order to do that, we can't be drained. Because let me tell you, there's no shortage of worry you can have for your client. You can worry so much that you won't even get any sleep, and that's not going to help you as a person or as a therapist. And also, you have to understand something. I only see my clients at the most 1 hour per week. That's it, just 1 hour. And so you can't really take too much responsibility for 1 hour. I mean, when I see a client be very successful, I honestly don't take too much responsibility for that. And on the flip side, if there's some kind of failure or they're not doing well, I don't take responsibility for that either. I'm kind of like a personal trainer. I'm there with certain knowledge to help a client get to a certain place and reach a certain goal. But just like a personal trainer whose clients are out there doing their own push-ups, running and eating right, the personal trainer is not responsible for that. It's the client that's doing the work. Similarly, it's a client that's doing the work out there, and I don't take that much responsibility or credit for their successes. Number four: does it ever not work out with clients? And do you take their money if you feel like you're not helping them? Yes, it doesn't work out with some clients. And no, if I'm not helping them, I try to get them the help that they need. I would say there's plenty of times where it doesn't work out with clients. Sometimes it's just not the right fit. I don't know how to explain it, but people are just people, and certain people just fit together, and I'm not the right fit for everyone. And that's okay. I don't mind that. And sometimes people are looking for something specific. Maybe they're looking for a female, or looking for someone with a certain ethnicity or certain experiences or a certain age. And if I don't meet the criteria, or just for some reason they don't feel comfortable talking with me after the initial consultation, I do try my best to get them the help that they need. So I'll refer them out if I know a therapist that I might feel like is a good fit, or I might give them advice on how to find a good therapist. And also there's sometimes when a client is struggling with something specific and I don't have specific expertise or knowledge in that area. And so in that case, I would also refer them out, which I've done plenty of times. And if it doesn't seem to be working with a client, I'll check in with them. I'll say, hey, how's therapy going for you? Do you feel like this has been helpful? Because sometimes for me as a therapist on the other side, it seems like we're not getting anywhere. I've had some clients where we have done the same thing, addressed the same thing. It seems like we're going in circles, or we're banging our head against a wall over and over and over for a long time. And then all of a sudden, it seems like there's a switch that gets flipped. And all of a sudden they start doing really, really well. And it seems like everything that we had been working on, all of that frustration actually pays off. So it's a delicate balancing act. There's no way to really know, but I do try to make it as collaborative as possible. I'm talking with my clients, checking in with them. How's it going for you? Is this working for you? Do you think it's helpful? So through that, hopefully we know whether it's working and whether to continue or not. Number 5. Okay. This question, no one has actually ever asked me before, but it's something that I would be super curious about. And it's, are you ever attracted to your clients, or have clients ever expressed attraction to you? And has it ever gotten sexual? So let me say this. I work in LA, and the age ranges of my clients are from about early 20s to late 40s. And in LA, there are a lot of good-looking people, male and female. And so I would say that a lot of my clients actually are very attractive. And I'm a human being. I notice that. And so sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this person and I think, wow, this person is very attractive, male or female. But I'll say this, I am never myself attracted to any of my clients. It just doesn't happen. I'm at work. I have a goal. I'm trying to help these people, and we have this collaborative effort, and it's very emotional. So it's not like these feelings would ever come in, or at least I haven't really experienced them. But have any clients fallen in love with you, Daniel? I mean, you're a good looking guy. You're there sitting with them in their emotions. You're being empathetic. You're being kind. You're being caring. You're attending to them in their most vulnerable place. It could totally happen, right? Well, it's never happened to me, and it's never happened to anyone that I know. I'm sure it does happen, but I think it's very, very rare. I do have one story though. When I was fresh out of grad school, I was working with kids. I was a therapist for an agency, and I was seeing kids and adolescents. And I had this one client who was 9 years old. He was a 9-year-old boy, and he had a single mother. And I met the mother and I met the kid, and I was doing therapy with the kid, and I was going to have this parent consultation with her. And it's just something you do every once in a while, just so that you can check in and let the parent know how the kid is doing in therapy. And so I show up to their house, and she opens the door, and she's wearing this very, very short skirt and a very, very tight shirt that has a very, very low neckline. And so we sit down on the couch, and I just remember looking at her in the face and thinking, Daniel, whatever you do, just don't look down. Just look at this lady's face. Don't look down, and get this over with, and let's get out of here. And so that's what I did. I just told her about what's going on with the kid. I was just looking at her face, and I just got out of there. And to this day, I don't really know what happened there. Maybe that's just how she dresses at home. Maybe she was going to go out on a date after our meeting. Or maybe she saw this guy, this young male therapist, and she was trying to pull something. I don't know. I just remember the intensity of that moment. And I remember being very uncomfortable and wanting to get out of there. So those are a few questions that I get asked all the time. And I hope it gives you a little insight into what it's like to be a therapist. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you next time.